here. Welcome back. As you can see, we have some Baja design lights that are going to get installed on my turbo bagger right back here. Before I do that, I want to show you some merch that they sent. There were a couple of shirts and I just love their designs, so check them out. Let me know which design you like the best and let me know down in the comments. I ended up putting on the blue one on and I think it looks pretty well. It's a size large and this is a large, and my son went with the red one. And they are awesome designs. I really like them. I mean, look at this here with their design. I love it. In my hand is the bracket that we're gonna use to mount these two LP6s and my two S2s. That's right, we're gonna use S2s and they're all gonna be mounted right here. But let me put this bracket down here, and I wanna take a moment to let you know about LS Fabworks. LS Fabworks is a great company. The owner has a special place in my heart, not only because he was also in the Army, but also because he was an infantry soldier, just like yours truly. Except he probably had a little tougher being up north in the 10th Mountain Division. LS Fabworks sells a lot of Baja design kits for your Harley Davidsons, to include the newer models coming up, and I believe they're working on the final touches before they release a product for your newer road glides and street glides. So go to their website, go to their Instagram, and give them a follow and check them out. Let's go over the inventory. Again, we have their LS bracket where all the lights are gonna get mounted, so I'm really happy about that. We have two amber lens covers because these LP6s have a red backlight. When you put your accessory light on, it's gonna be red because it's going with my red turbo, but I also wanted them to be amber. So I have the clear ones that are on the LP6s, and we're gonna be replacing those with these amber lens covers. And for the turn signals, we're gonna be using Baja Designs S2 Sport. Before we take this motorcycle apart to install the new kit, I wanted to show you the brightness of these lights that I've had on here for about, I don't know, a year and a half or so from Rick Rack. This here is their low beam, and this is their high beam. Now, they're pretty bright as well, different design, but once we install this Baja Designs kit, we're gonna do a light comparison, see which one's brighter and which one's not as bright, so that way you can choose the best kit for your liking. I thought removing the front fairing and all that jazz was gonna be nice and simple, but this bolt here seems to have seized, or actually we know it has seized. So we took all the bolts off, pry the windshield off, but now it's stuck here. So we're gonna get some vice grips and just try to get this bolt out without damaging the speaker pod, which is such a pain. All right guys, so we ran out of options here and we're gonna replace these custom dynamics, not under warranty obviously, but we're just trying to take this apart, watch out, and see if we can get some more surface out of this here. So if you haven't seen what the inside of a custom dynamic light looks like, that's part of it. So we're gonna continue on in our journey. Also, I think now we can get the vice grips on here. So I was able to shimmy it off. This is what's left. And now my son here is gonna try to, actually my daughter is gonna try, you probably do it the other way. It's gonna try to take it off. So we're making it, you got it?
There you go.
Girl power. Girl power. Look at that. Careful with the carbon fiber now. Don't mess it up. No, now.
Give me a 5.
All right, so here's the bolt. Try to focus in on it, but we're trying to figure out why it was rusted in or why it was in there. But I don't know. I think just all the writing in the rain kind of, I don't know, seized it in there, and I probably tightened it a little bit too tight. So yeah, so these are not coming back on. If you're worried about the bolt and you know which one I'm gonna use, don't worry, because I'm replacing the windshield bolts with some ARP bolts from the one and only Mako. Here you go. The point now that we're gonna replace the clear lens with the amber lens. All we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this lens here and put the 4 bolts back on. We're gonna put this on here, like that. Here's a bracket. As you can see, it's very easy to install, and you just reuse your bolts here and these 4 bolts here, and you put the bracket on here, and that's pretty much it. But since I'm mounting the S2 lights here as turn signals, is all gonna be encompassed in here, I had to remove the vent. So I'm very curious what it's gonna look like. Another thing that's very unique to LS Fabworks is you get this bolt here that connects both of the LP6s together, and what it does, it avoids the need for a filler panel. So now both of these LP6s are connected per se with that stud or that bolt, and then we just put it into the bracket here, and then we put the bolts with it that are gonna hold it on each side, and that should keep the LP6s together. So I've already installed the bracket along with these S2s, and I'm about to turn this on and you're gonna see how bright it is, but I just wanna cover some things with you in terms of alignment. When you join these LP6s together with that bolt in the middle there, everything's gonna work out great. It's gonna fit perfectly fine. The only thing you have to worry about is the alignment. You don't want this one to be too far down and this one to be too far up, and vice versa. Another thing I love about the LS Fabworks bracket is that you can use the bracket, as you can see here, that comes with the Baja Design S2 Sport Light. Now, I believe that LS Fabworks also powder coats this just like they do their bracket back there, which I think it's awesome, because if not, it would just be aluminum and it would kill the look, right? Same thing with alignment. You wanna make sure that the side of this is aligned very good with your LP6s. So that way this S2 is not too far down or too far up. Now, I will say that because it is a all-in-one turn signal system, I went ahead and faced my S2s out to the side just a few degrees, nothing crazy. So I have this pretty much centered. I have the bike centered on a center stand. So I have everything centered. It turns on, it works. And that's just one of the things I wanted to point out, because this bracket here encompasses everything. And this is what the LP6 with the red backlight with orange lenses looks like. It looks amazing. I think it looks great. Now, the nice thing is that LS Fabworks also included the clear ones. So at some point, I might just replace them to the clear ones to see what that looks like. But I kind of like this orangey Hellcat look. It looks great, I think. This is what the LP6s look like turned on, along with the S2s at the side. And let me tell you, I can feel the heat. I don't know, what is this? 3 feet away from the lights, and they are bright. So now, there is the left turn signal. It is pretty bright. Just look at that. And here is the right turn signal. And man, let me tell you. And of course, this is the high beam. It is something else, let me tell you. At this point, you can put on your front fairing. However, because the turn light signals are now here integrated in the front, which I'm excited to see what this looks like, I'm gonna remove these custom dynamic lights here on my carbon fiber front fairing. As you can see, this one here took a beating. Can you see that? And either way, I'm gonna replace it. I'm gonna be replacing the turn signal lights with this Paul Yaffe turn signal eliminator kit. When you receive this kit, you're gonna get the actual eliminators. They're gonna put on the side here, and underneath here is gonna be the backside of your turn signals. That because these brackets here replace the OEM ones, and you get these 4 bolts. Here is the finished product, and I have to say I love the fit, and I really like the different look that it offers. Of course, they're really bright. In terms of these custom dynamic lights that I had on here, I'm not gonna replace them. I'm gonna order the stock plastic covering that came with this, or maybe just go a different route, because I figure these lights are really bright that it washes out these custom dynamic lights anyways. So I'm just gonna have some trim here. But as you can see, I replaced the bolts with some ARP bolts. They're not tightened up all the way because I have to take these ARP bolts off again to be able to install that trim that I'm talking about. Nonetheless, let me go ahead and turn this on. Again, the first thing I did was I turned out the auxiliary lights, and I'm just really digging the red light look. I already showed you guys again. Look at that. That just looks pretty neat in my opinion. This is the profile view. This is the head-on view, and they're pretty bright. This is what they look like from the front. So now I'm gonna turn on the turn signal here, and that's what it looks like with the turn signal. I was worried that maybe because the LP6s are too bright that it was gonna wash out the S2, but as you can see, it doesn't. Here's the other turn signal, and man, it is really bright. And finally, here is what it looks like with the high beams on. And let me tell you, it is bright. Again, I can feel the heat of the lights right over here. And this is the finished product on this turbo here. I'm super excited because I think it gives it a really nice look. And one last look from the front over here. And it definitely lights up the sky. Again, this is a high beam, but I don't think it makes much difference. They are super bright. Here's a turn signal. I think it is kind of a little washed out when you see it at, I don't know, 10 feet where the camera's at. And when I put on the other turn signal, it's there. So it might be a a little too bright, but again, this is a new look of my Turbo Road Glide with the LS Fabworks kit that you see right in front of me. It's very easy to install. I really like the look, and I like that I'll be able to see more per se on the road, because now that it's the winter time, it gets darker sooner here in Houston, like around 5 o'clock. And when I'm on the road trying to come home from work, or just simply coming home from hanging out with some of my buddies, I like the extra lighting, and I'll show you guys again. You're gonna see me coming down the road, and which is why I wanted this specific kit from LS Fabworks. So go to their website. I really like their designs of the shirts. I like their merch, and I just like the kits. They have other kits as well. On that note, if you don't like the look of the S2s on this one, you can also get it with the S1s. And if you don't like the turn signals on the fronts like I have here, then they also offer other kits as well. But go to their website, go follow them on their Instagram. They also have a YouTube channel on how to do some installs. Everything's really easy. They have some S2 fog lights that go right underneath your floorboard, so I can't wait to get those. And again, it's veteran owned from a fellow infantryman just like yours truly. Please like this video and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. As you can see, my front forks show that this is not a garage clean, it is a road warrior. And this turbo system that I have on here is super reliable, it's great, and I've proven that it is. With that being said, I'm gonna replace some of these components here in the front. I'm also gonna get some new suspension in the front. So go ahead and subscribe and just stay tuned, because I think you'll want to watch the video. We have other situations coming up here. Nonetheless, the LS Fabworks Baja Design Kit was the first thing I wanted to add, because I really haven't added anything else to this motorcycle, although it's totally built already. The next thing is maintenance, right? So I got 40-some thousand miles on this motorcycle, and my front suspension is shot. I need a new front suspension, because going around the curves, it's pretty obvious that this motorcycle needs new front suspension. That does it for today's video. Again, please like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. And just one last time, let's go ahead and turn on these bad boys, because they are bright. But again, you will be seeing, this is a high beam, and this is a low beam, left, right turn signal, and that is it. See y'all later.